Hello, lovely people. I'm Shaq and welcome. Today we're going to work on tiny mugs. I'm going to show you how I put those little guys together. And yeah, I had some other stuff and hopefully I'll remember what it was while we're doing the mugs. So I'm going to just turn around the camera and we can get started. Okay, I have some clay rolled out already and one strip here, which I think I got stuck, is cut to about the height of the mug. I think it's got a fat spot over here, and I think I'm just going to take that off. But I just take my strip of narrowed out clay and put it around my dowel, and then I am going to cut it and score it and get that put together if I can find the tools, which you know, you clean up and they disappear into the jar. Okay, I'm starting to wonder if it's not in there. Well, when all else fails, figure out a different way. So I like to score both edges and put in some slip, which is just a combination of clay, water, and vinegar. And then squish those together. Usually I have it a little closer to the same distance. Yeah, that's going to end up with a thick spot. Not exactly what I wanted. You're watching me. I can't do it right. Yeah, that's frustrating. Okay. You're going to sit over there. It's actually not that bad. It's just that it's going to move around and be a little challenging. So there's always kind of a crackle on the outside. From curving it around something, because it is, well, the redware acts different than some other clays I've noticed, where you I forget the word that others are using for letting it set up to where it's not leather hard, but it's almost leather hard, and then they curve it around things, and their clay seems to stretch. So I'm guessing that their clay has more the word just slipped away again. More in it that allows it to stretch. That can be silicates, I guess, or sand, or any number of things. Anyway, I'm gonna score the bottom edge here of this, and obviously took off some bits of clay that were from that join. Then I take my hole punch here, which is usually you go into whatever with the pointy end, but for this I'm just making a circle right there, and then you have to push it out, and then I add some of the wow, I can tell I went into the doctor's office yesterday. My vocabulary is gone. I have no access to it at all. So I have this real problem when I go into the doctor's office. My blood pressure goes kind of way crazy high, and just from the anxiety of being there. And apparently next day I've got all kinds of, I can't pull up words. I was leaving the doctor's office and I was checking, you know, there was like no cars in the parking lot. So I'm figuring, okay, that means that there's probably not a lot of fragrance in the parking lot. And I pull off the mask and run right smack into a cloud of laundry detergent fragrance from someone who had been there in the last, I don't know, 15 minutes maybe. Maybe it was the last person to leave the parking lot. Anyway, I'm thinking this mug is too tall, and I just put an accident thumb mark in it, a fingernail mark, and I'm going to cut that part off, so otherwise I just clean it up. But now my bottom is attached pretty well, and I'm going to make the mug shorter. This isn't actually the best tool for that. There, that feels better. And then I need to cut a strip for the handle, which I've been trying to spend the time to figure out how long I need for something and document it so that I can do some prep and setup that would make it easier. But this is one of those things that I need to know the length on, and I haven't documented that. So I'm gonna go from the one. Ah, cool. It's 2 centimeters long. Then cut it into strips. And I wish I had my damp box in here because I should cut it into strips and put it in the damp box. I forgot the damp box. So we'll just tuck it under the plastic over here. That last bit is not wide enough for a handle, so toss that. So I've got 3 handles in the making here, and what I usually do is go ahead and curve them right after they're cut over the top of the dowel, same dowel that I use for making the cup. And they are doing a little bit of crackle, so that'll have to be smoothed out before I put them on. So we are looking into other clays, gonna start playing with other clay bodies besides the redware one. And hopefully I can find something that doesn't crackle as bad, that is more friendly to the this process, I guess. All right, just get a little bit of water, go across there. Smooth that out. I want to take care of that before I get it on the cup, because it'll be harder to do once it's attached to the cup. And it's sticking to me. Okay, maybe if I get my fingers clean and dried off, that'll help. And again, wish I could find that scritchy tool because you need to stick. Place the handle. I am thinking I kind of wanted it to go where that thick spot was. Which, see, the thick spot's not so evident anymore. Kind of, that's why the cup got too tall. This is probably good enough as far as roughing it up. Then I put a little of that stuff on there again. Oh my goodness. Slip. There we go. Found it. Found the word. You're just gonna have to give me some grace. I cannot pull up anything. May have gotten this handle wetter than I should have. And I think it's bigger than it should be. Yeah. So, yeah. Normally I'd kind of let it sit for a minute and I think that makes it less sticky. But, there. Well, I think that's a better size handle. The earrings are pretty cool. I mean, we just take the a jump ring and put it on the handle and then put it on an inexpensive shepherd's hook, because everybody has their own needs when it comes to the earring hanger, and it drives the price up too much if I put, like, what I would need is a sterling silver hook. But because it would just drive the cost up too much, so I'm not gonna do that. So we just get the inexpensive ones, and it's kind of amazing to me how many people will just go ahead and buy it. Like, it's like they were given permission to wear them as earrings by it being on this inexpensive earring hook. And, you know, some people can wear those inexpensive hooks, but I also know a lot of people can't. And they just switch it over to whatever is their preferred metal, or maybe they have, you know, some other way in which. But it's just so weird that by putting it on shepherd's hooks, you've given them permission to wear the cups as earrings. And they could have come over and bought the hook, the cup before, without it being on an earring. But it wasn't until we stuck them on earrings that, well, there was a little kid, I think, that came up and bought one, but they just weren't moving. And in the store, most everything isn't really moving either. Do me a lot of help if you went over there and checked things out. I did not get any feedback from anybody or even inquiries about Cindy, so I'm just going to put her on there for a really inexpensive price and mostly just shipping. And I think I have an Elwyn fashion. I also am going to just list on there. So you really should go check out the, and the Elwyn outfit is from the subscription. Forget which one it's called, but it was the silver dress with the sequins. Okay, I think we've got this to the point where we set it aside, and then we will, me and the mouse in my pocket, will clean it up after it's firmed up a little bit. And it doesn't actually take that long for it to get there. And then I just move on and make another mug. Once the mug is set up a little bit, about the time it takes me to make the second one, I like to take a ball and push in just gently to dent in just the very center, and then I'll put my mark in there because none of our stamps are small enough to fit in here for the marking. And I might have to do some work again on the join. Sometimes that's just necessary. So then I just write my initials in here, or try to. So you dent it in so that it doesn't rock. Because if you don't dent it in, the bottom is likely to be the rounded, and it won't sit upright. So now it'll sit flat. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video and that you have a delightful day and a wonderful week. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.